Assalamualaikum and hi to our panel, Madam Tay and Dr. Roslina. Today, our group would like to present our Viva project. But before that, we would like to introduce ourselves first. My name is AFFNIRUL binti Sulong and I am the second presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am the first presenter. My name is SYAFIQAH BALQIS binti TALIB.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is FARAH binti FAIROS and I am a third presenter for this group.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is NURUL. I am the fourth presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am the last presenter and my name is NURUL binti Leman.
Okay, that's it, 5 of us. Before we jump into the presentation, I would like to share with our panels a little bit about the company that we chose. So for this Viva project, we have chose Axiata Group Berhad as our company. So this company is formally known as TM International Berhad. And they start to rebranding their name and their logo on 2nd of April 2009, which they changed to Axiata. Their core business is digital telecommunication, digital business, and infrastructure. So that's it, a little bit about our company, and I would like to start with the first presenter.
Okay, let me start with financial analysis. Financial analysis is the process of examining a company's performance by looking at historical performance data. Next is total asset chart. Based on the chart, in 2017, Axiata Group Berhad has the highest total asset and has the highest non-current asset, which is 69.910996 billion ringgit and 58.109262 billion ringgit. In 2018, the company has the lowest total current asset and non-current asset, which is 63.855027 billion ringgit and 51.553015 billion ringgit. In 2019, the group has the lowest total current asset and total asset are increased compared to 2018. Next is financial structure. Based on the total liabilities and shareholder equity in 2017, the group has the highest total liabilities and shareholder equity. In 2018, the total of liabilities and shareholders equity decreased. In 2019, the total are increased compared to 2018. Next is interest obligation. Based on child interest obligation, the highest interest that the group received is in 2017, following 2019, and the lowest is in 2018. Moreover, Axiata paid its interest on borrowing in 2017 to its account payable with a total of 253.002 billion ringgit, which is lower than in the interest paid in 2019. Next is dividend distribution. Based on the based on the chart, the dividend paid rose by 150 million ringgit from 2017 to 2018. The highest dividend is in 2018, which is 9.8 cents per share. In 2017, the group received dividend of 92.587 billion ringgit from its association in 6 different countries. They received no dividend in 2019. Okay, that's all from my part. Let's move to another presenter.
I will continue the presentation. As you can see from the slide here, we have horizontal analysis table. All this figure from here we got from ratio analysis, which consists of that data from 2017 to 2019 of Axiata company. So there is four type of ratio: liquidity ratio, leverage ratio, activity ratio, and profitability ratio. We will look in each of the ratio. For liquidity ratio, from 2017 to 2018, there is an increase. For 2019, it started to decrease, which means in 2019, this company had problem in settling their debts. For leverage ratio, it's increasing year by year, this means that this company liability has exceeding aggressively. For activity ratio, it's also increasing year by year, which means they have a strong sell. Lastly, for profitability ratio, as you can see, obviously in 2018, this company profit dropped until to negative because of the operating cost is too high. However, it start to regain in 2019. So next, we will move to vertical analysis. Vertical analysis is actually we compare two company, which is our company, and also their competitors. We have choose DG as our competitors. So we will compare each of these ratio between these two companies. For liquidity ratio, you can see that DG has higher ratio compared to ASYIQAH, which means DG had more ability to pay debts without having to rely on liquid current asset. For leverage ratio, here ASYIQAH ratio is smaller than DG, which means that between these two companies, DG had more debt. DG had more liability compared to ASYIQAH. For activity ratio, you can see that ASYIQAH has the highest ratio, which means they had a better return. Lastly, profitability ratio. It's obviously, you can see that DG ratio is more higher than ASYIQAH. This is mean that DG had more ability to control the cost of goods sold and the effectiveness in generating profit. For the next slide, the third presenter will continue.
Okay, now we move to risk and return. For expected return, ASYIQAH and DG has higher KLCI. It same goes to variance and standard deviation, where ASYIQAH and DG has higher than KLCI, but it differs with coefficient of variation, where ASYIQAH has higher than KLCI, while DG has lower than KLCI. We can see that for the table. We can see that from the table, the risk ratio is lower for stock DG compared to stock ASYIQAH. Okay, next we move to regression analysis. For correlation coefficient and determination of coefficient, we can see that from the table, ASYIQAH has higher than DG. And for alpha, ASYIQAH and DG has positive. It means that both company have is outperformed. And for beta, ASYIQAH has reached more than 1, while DG is lower than 1. It shows that ASYIQAH company is present a good performance than DG company. Okay, now ASYIQAH Group Berhad and KLCI market have negative relationship with return on market, while DG Berhad and KLCI market have positive relationship with return on market. Okay, now we move to ANOVA. F value of ASYIQAH company is smaller than the 5% of confidence interval of F distribution. This means that it can be rejected. We can conclude that not all means are equal. And next, we move to security market analysis. ASYIQAH has the expected return 57.46%. In order to reach that amount of return, they required 1.8531 beta. Meanwhile, for DG, there has expected return negative 34.15% and need 0.5995 beta to achieve that amount of return. So overall, Axiata Group Berhad and DG Berhad is overvalued. Okay, now we move to intrinsic value. For conclusion, since the market value is smaller than intrinsic value of Axiata, so for the current investor, they should hold their shares of Axiata company. But for the future investor, they're advised to buy the shares. Now we go to last part for financial analysis, which is conclusion and recommendation. Okay, for financial ratio, both Axiata and DG show equal performance, where the company performs better at 2 ratios and worse at another 2 ratios. And risk and return analysis, Axiata and DG stocks are considered overvalued because the expected return is lower than the average return. Okay, and next is intrinsic value. For intrinsic value, like I said before, for current investor for Axiata, is advised hold their shares, while DG current investor advised to sell. Meanwhile, for future investor of Axiata, they should buy the shares, while DG is recommended to hold. And lastly, for fundamental analysis, Axiata Group Berhad is having a difficulty in maintaining their financial performance, but they have potential of the company to sustain their growth as the technology in the world keeps developing day by day. So that's all from me. Thank you. So we move to next presenter. Thank you.
Technical analysis. What is technical analysis? It is a method of evaluating securities by analyzing the statistics generated by market activity. It is also to predict the future price levels or price direction. So example of technical indicators are relative strength index, Williams percent R, stochastic, MACD, and simple moving average. Indices. The indices in Malaysia is FTSE Bursa Malaysia KLCI. It offers clearing, trading and listing, depository and settlement services. So as shown in the chart, in 2018, the price is slowly bearish until the end of the year. And then the KLCI close price in 2019 is the steepest year-on-year decline since the 2008 global financial crisis. Comparative analysis is to compare the Axiata Berhad's price behavior and price movement with DG Berhad. By looking at the Axiata chart, they were in an uptrend in 2017. However, it started to go downtrend in 2018. But in 2019, it moved back in an uptrend until the middle of the year and declined until the end of the year. For DG, they were in an uptrend in early 2017, but went downtrend after the middle of the year. Then, DG was constant for the year 2018. In 2019, they went uptrend and declined until the year ended. There is a weak relationship between Axiata and DG Berhad. Also, they have the same price movements. Trend analysis. The use of trend analysis is to identify the direction of the movement of the stock prices. So by referring to the graph, it shows that the resistance from early 2018 until September 2018 was priced at 5 ringgit 50 cents and 4 ringgit 50 cents. Then the support line took place in early 2018 until November 2018 and priced at 4 ringgit 85 cents and 3 ringgit 30 cents. The old support line was then converted into a new resistance starting September 2019 until May 2020, and the resistance level started in May 2020 until the year end. At this support level, it is the best decision to buy the stock, whereas resistance level is the best time to sell the stock. Line chart. So starting 2018, the chart is bearish for Axiata, because it has reported a net loss of more than 5 billion ringgit. It mostly due to significant write-offs and impairments affecting overseas divisions, especially in India. In 2019, the chart went uptrend because they gained more profit. In 2020, the chart is unstable due to global pandemic. The full impact of COVID-19 was felt heavily in the second quarter, especially in April, when movement restrictions were in full throttle across its market. So we'll move to indicators by the last presenter.
And for the last part, I'm going to explain more about indicator. So for this project, we are using 5 types of indicator. The first one is simple moving average. Second one is moving average convergence divergence, relative strength index, Williams percent R, and the last one is stochastic oscillator. Simple moving average is computing the average price of a security over a specific number of periods. MACD is to signal the trend and momentum behind a security. RSI is to measure the strength of the security recent up move. Williams percent R is to measuring overbought and also the oversold level. And the last one is stochastic oscillator, is to monitor a trend sustainability and signal reversal in prices. For this kind of indicator, we are using 2 types of period of time, which are intermediate term and short term. Intermediate term are from 60 days, and while short term in 21 days. So here is the conclusion and the recommendation. Based on the indicator before, SMA, MACD, RSI, Williams percent R, and also stochastic, it shows a buy signal. We are recommend for the current investor to buy the stock, while future investor to hold the stock to sell later. Technical analysis is an important analysis that needs to be considered before buying a stock. It can help us to determine or estimate the future price to avoid losses and maximize profit. Technical analysis studies past price or the particular stock to predict the price pattern, whether it will be bearish or bullish. It is recommended for current investors to buy Axiata stock for time being, as it is showing a buying signal from the indicator as stated before. Future investors are advised to hold the stock and wait for the price to increase to sell it. The assumption is made because we have studied the past price of this stock and believe that the price history will repeat. In a nutshell, technical analysis is as important as other analysis, as it helps investors to identify the right time to invest in the stock or the right time to sell with profit. Trading without the right knowledge and use of the technical analysis is simply like gambling. Hence, the usage of this analysis can make us focus towards the profit and understand the market condition in a simple manner. So that is all for the presentation, financial analysis, risk and statistical analysis, and technical analysis. Thank you.